Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Soviet Tech Tree Mediums, the T-62A and Object 140. These two tanks were nerfed in the latest update of the game. And rather confusingly as well, the T-62A is a vehicle that I've never really looked at as, oh my god, I'm so scared of this tank. But I guess Wargaming did, because in the latest update of the game, they nerfed the T-62A's damage per minute, now sitting at 3037 when running calibrated shells, making the T-62A one of the lowest DPM mediums in the game. In fact, we can look at all the mediums on the tech tree right now, and if we look at America, the M48 Patton has more DPM, and if we go over to Germany, the E50M has more DPM, obviously the Leopard 1 has more DPM, the FE4202 has more DPM, even the Vickers Light. The STB1 does have less damage per minute, but features 11 degrees of gun depression, so yeah, it's kind of got a bit of an advantage there. The 121 is more DPM, and even the Balchation with the auto-loading 4-shot gun has more damage per minute. So really the only tanks that have less damage per minute than the 62A are autoloaders and auto-reloaders, like the Progetto, the Caro 45-ton, and the Murat, and the TVP. But honestly, it's not that much of a difference. A Progetto, for example, has 2,800 DPM, and this is 3,000. That's only a 200 damage per minute difference, and you have to remember that the Progetto also comes with 3 shells, dealing 1,050 damage in 7 seconds, or actually 6 seconds, because it's a 3-second interclip. Yeah, the 62A can't do that. It's not only that, but this tank doesn't have much gun depression. So what does the 62A actually have going for it in the current state of the game? Well, it's got troll upper plate armor, and speed boost. Yeah, that's about it, to be honest. I don't really know much else to say that it's got going for it. In most situations, I think you'd be much better off driving an M48 Patton or an E50M. But I guess if you want mobility, that is one thing the 62A will excel at, because it is very fast, I will say that. But you know, the 121B is also very fast, and the 121B has a lot of advantages, I would say, over the 62A as well, especially in the DPM department. Also the fact it has adaptive concealment, and it got an armor buff in the latest update, so yeah, there's a lot of things to definitely think about. And the shell velocity is definitely one of the biggies. The shell velocity of this vehicle was quite heavily nerfed in the latest update, and it's now 900 meters a second, which is pretty tragic, to be completely honest. But the one thing I do like about the 62A is that it actually has a pretty nice alpha damage of 330. It's a pretty nice in-between where you don't have to worry too much about getting out-traded, but at the same time, you have a quick enough reload to get bonks into your opponents. You also do feature decent armor, which is something that I like about the 62. The fact that your turret is pretty well armored means that most opponents are going to struggle to cut through you, at least frontally. And if you pair that with the fact that the tank has really good mobility, it's not a terrible combination, it's just one that you're going to have to be really cautious about as well. So we have that 183 in the back, and we're obviously going to aim in on that 183. We get a pen out, but the XM66F has decided that he wants to join the fray, and well, I don't really like that, gonna be honest. The XM66F is an insanely dangerous tank destroyer with upwards of 3,600 DPM and everything else going for it as well. It's a scary vehicular. Well, we try to get a shell out, but I snap it a little bit too early. What do I want to do about this XM? Well, I don't know if there's much I can do. We do get one shell out, though. Not bad. VK72 looks like he's pushing up over here, and we are going to track him. Yeah, again, that shell velocity is really, really mid on this tank, and it makes it rather challenging to confirm your shells into your opponents. But we get one shell out, and we get another shell right there, nice 330 damage, and the VK drove into a wall, which is not entirely beneficial for him. We get another nice 330 damage into his vehicle, and that is all pretty good stuff. Okay, well, we are not able to pen the hatch of the XM, but at this point, I don't know how much it matters. Oh, I accidentally drove into the wall there. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Well, they got 3 tanks left. They got the XM, they got the Murat, who we're going to aim in on. Bonk, there you go, 314. I don't know why this XM wants to shoot me so bad. Like, I know that my tank is a threat, but, like, I don't know if it's as much as a threat as everything else. Okay, well, the Vickers shoots at me, loses 500 health in the process, and we're going to win. So, I think this was actually a pretty good game to showcase what I like and what I don't like about the 62A. Oh, did not mean to drive into a wall there. Come on, no, Sag. Well, he's dead anyway. We weren't going to be able to get that out. So, the 62A. What do I think? I don't think it's a bad tank. Like we saw in this game, it has armor, and that armor allowed to get me bounces. And not only does it feature armor, but the DPM, while not great, is still good enough to get the job done. The super speed boost is also pretty nice because it does allow you to get in and out of situations very quickly. And while the 121B did get an armor buff, I will admit the armor on the 62A is still quite a bit better. The upper plate on this vehicle is around 270 millimeters, and that's pretty good. I mean, AP shells from most tanks are going to cut through on flat ground. But if you're angling it slightly and you're giving your opponent some goofy angulars to shoot at, the armor can be actually quite effective on this vehicle, which is very nice. So that is something to keep in mind. I still don't understand why the vehicle doesn't get more DPM. That's what I don't get. Like, it would not hurt it in any world. It would not hurt the matchmaker or anything going on right now for this tank to have more damage per minute. So, but oh well. That's my reply. I think most of you will agree that the DPM nerfs were kind of uncalled for, especially because Wargaming also decided to nerf the shell velocity of this tank as well. So, yeah, kind of goofy. Alright, let's aim it on the 4202. Oh, gotta love that. My incredible levels of accuracy there. Missing a very, very easy shot. Let's aim it on the 4202. And nice. Okay, let's aim it again. Now, while we may not feature, you know, ridiculous levels of DPM, we still do have pretty good DPM. And that is something that is quite nice. So, STB makes an overpoke, and we get a pen right in his vehicle. But look at that. Directly through my armor. Alright, well, let's hope that my teammates do support me, because I am going to need that support. We get a nice shell into the yo. That's obviously pretty good. And, yeah, this is not good. This is actually really bad. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, Toby's going to get himself killed. He's trying to fight a yo, and you can't do that. We do get a nice shot into the 4202. But this is not going great. What I'm hoping is that I can help out Toby here. We can get a shell, maybe, into the 4202. I mean, I'm still able to hold this. And this is, again, where the armor of this vehicle does feel quite nice. You're able to just kind of sit in a position like this. You're able to get some good bleeds out. Let's see. Let's see. Anybody gonna poke? Come on. Come on, you little goober. Poke it. Oh, there you go. We got the 4202. And bonk. There you go. Oh, but we get trapped. We love that. And because I'm running speed boost, I don't have the ability to repair anything on my tank. That's the problem with double consumable. I've talked about it in the past and why I don't love it in every situation. And this is one of those moments where I don't really love that double consumable. If I was running just a repair kit, I probably would have been way better off there, which, you know, kind of sucks when you actually think about it. So, what am I going to do here? Well, I am going to... Oh, Toby, no... Alright, well, I'm going to aim it on that yo if I can. There you go. Nice shot. We do have the STB. Oh, nice. That 4202 is dead. Okay. Well, if I'm looking at everything going on right now, I'm going to push this STB. Praying to God that they don't have a 268. And there you go. Easy HE straight into his turret, and he is knocked out of the game. That is pretty good stuff. Okay. Wow, what an incredible shell coming from my vehicle there. That was truly a keeper. Okay, well, let's aim it on the yo. And... what I'm hoping is that the yo just shoots at me once, and if he does, it's going to give me the ability to obviously probably get the clear. I mean, we know where the 268 is, so I'm not too worried about that. Boss Shotion's flanking behind, and let's see, the yo's obviously going to try and do some damage to him. We got the clearing shell, and that's obviously quite nice, just in case our bad chat wasn't going to get it out. So we're up to 2,700 damage dealt. And we still have half our health left, and that's all pretty good. The enemy team has 3 vehicles left, a Concept, a 268, and a Rhino. Okay. Well, I don't know what I want to do here, so we're just going to chill right in this spot. We have a 183's full health. I'm half health, and our bat chat is not very healthy. Okay. Well, the bat chat does have the most view range here, which is obviously quite nice. We're going to cap that base, and... This is where driving a medium has its upsides and downsides. I'm hoping the enemy heavies decide to try. Oh, there you go. We spot the Rhino, which is obviously pretty nice. And we also detect the 268, which we get a nice tracking shell into. And that also allows our teammate in Le Ball Chatillon to get a shell out as well on, which is obviously pretty sweet. So the 268 gets shot, and we get a shell on ourselves. How to throw? Be that 268. We were not spotted as well. I knew that we wouldn't be, because the 268 does not have enough camo to, or not, doesn't, it has the camo, it doesn't have the view range to outspot, so I wasn't too worried about that. Well, we got the concept, and I'm gonna cross this. I don't want to be shot. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate my super speed, and I'm going to get the heck out of here. Oh, of course. How am I spotted? Well, we actually hit the concept for 325, which is pretty good. That puts us in a fairly solid situation. Yes! Nice job from our bat chat. I will give that guy credit. He's doing his job. He's doing everything he needs to. And that is exactly what I need to get a win out. So, we spot the 268. Oh, there's no way you're poking. Oh, 292! What am I looking at? 292. Oh my god. Well, 292. That is wild, bro. 292. Okay, well, the Rhino is not giving me the shot on him. And the bat check gets the clear, which means all that's left is a 268 who was... Oh, he killed himself. Well, you know what? I'll take that. That's still fine. We had a pretty good game here. And you can see how even with the 62A's nerfed state, I still think it's a decent vehicle. Like, it's really disappointing what Wargaming did to the tank. I don't know why they nerfed it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it still has decent armor, it still has pretty good mobility, and it has a very solid gun. So, while I don't love the 62A in its current state, I still like the fact that it has decent damage per shot at 330, and you can still do a good job because of the holding potential it features. But still, very disappointing in its overall capabilities. Then we arrive to the Object 140. Now, the Object 140 is a Tier 10 Soviet tech tree medium as well. This vehicle also received some rather substantial nerfs in the latest update. It went from having some of the highest DPM in Tier 10 to not the highest DPM. It's very weird to me that the Leopard 1 gets all these buffs, adaptive concealment, and it gets gear oil, and everything else, and then you have the Object 140, which actually loses damage per minute. It had around 3,880-ish DPM last update, and now it is 3,500 with rammer. It's not even close. Wargaming absolutely nuked the DPM on this vehicle. Not only that, but it doesn't get any special abilities. This is a tank that I actually do believe should have gotten adaptive concealment, not the Leopard 1. Doesn't really make sense. So what does the 140 have? Well, it did get a heat pen buff. It now has 337 millimeters of heat, making it pretty good. So that is one nice buff. And apart from that, nothing else. I mean, I think it got a dispersion nerf if I'm not mistaken. Its on move is still really good, so if you're running refined, you're not going to have to worry too much about your shots missing. But the armor on the 140 is terrible, and the DPM, it's good. Like, don't get me wrong, 3,300 with Kali, it's definitely quite a bit more effective than something like the 62A. But as well, the 62A has armor, and this tank doesn't. So the question I ask you is, why would you drive a 140 when the CS63 just got so many buffs? The CS63 has better gun depression, has better DPM, has tungsten, has gear oil. Why would you drive the 140 when the Leopard exists? And these are always questions that I ask myself. So, I don't know. I mean, the 140 has some advantages over both the CS and the Leopard. You won't be high explosive penned in the 140. I mean, yes, you can be against the rear, but in most situations, the 140 is not going to have to worry about high explosive shells cutting through the tank. And not only that, it has very troll side armor, which can make it really, really tricky to actually cut through if you're using the vehicle properly. So, those are some nice things. It's also incredibly mobile. It's one of the fastest mediums in the game. And it looks really nice. So, I guess that's something, right? But, unfortunately, looks don't mean everything. And the enemy team, for example, is running a 60%er platoon in the most cringe vehicles in the game. T-22 and E-50M. It's very hard to enjoy Blitz when just every single player, brother and their mother, is running the most cringe tanks in the game. I don't think the 62A, like, for example, is inherently bad. It's just that when you run up against a T-22 and E-50M in platoon, it kind of begs the question, why would you ever drive this tank when, you know, you could drive an E-50M and do better? Look at the level of mobility the E-50M features. It's a little stupid. Now, we do get a pendant to that E-50. I mean, that's pretty good, and we are going to cap this base, so there you go. But you can already see that there's a bit of a problem unfolding here. I need my E5 and Rhino. I need these players to do a decent job, and we'll see what happens. We get a nice shell into the IS-7, which is pretty good, and we're going to aim it again, possibly. We might also be able to hit the C-100 in the crossing. There you go. Nice 302. I'm not going to use my repair kit. I don't really see an opportunity for that player to hit me. And, yeah, we're kind of chilling here right now, so that's good. Alright, nothing is spotted in front of me. And let's see if that T-22 overpokes. Well, what did we spot? The Bat Chat, for some reason. Why is the Bat Chat there? I don't know. Is the Bat Chat going to YOLO it? I also don't know. Interesting. Well, we get a shell into the Bashation, which is good. I'll take it. And the E-50 gets bled out a bit. So that's all pretty fine and dandy, actually. I see our E-50 sending it in, and we see the E-6, which we get a shell into. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put on my adrenaline, and we're going to aim it on the rear of the Bat Chat. We're going to get a nice 328 high explosive, and E-50 shoots him. I'm actually going to shoot the E-6, because while the Bat Chat is a threat, it's not a threat that I'm too worried about personally. I think the E-6 is a bigger threat, which we do get a shell into. The E-50 gets a shell into, and I'm going to aim in myself. We track him, which is kind of annoying. I would have really liked that to have actually done damage, but it's not that big of a deal, especially because the 183 just nuked the living daylights out of that player's existence. I really want to send that E-50, but for some reason I can't play light. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, don't YOLO. Like, you're in a light tank, you're not in a medium, you're not in a heavy, and you YOLO'd and expected to get away with it, and that's where you went wrong in your light. You have to be very cautious when you're playing these vehicles, and that was not a cautious play. That was a really bad play, to be completely real. Well, our team's not doing great here, to be entirely honest. The E-50 gets shot in the crossing, and I'm going to push up. Let's see. I wonder if I can hit that E-50 here. No, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Oh, actually, no, not yet, not yet. Keep going, keep going. No, we're not able to hit that. However, oh, what are we doing, game? Come on, reload, reload. 3, 2, 1, and there you go. Nice. Okay, we got the clear on the E-6. That's obviously pretty nice and takes him out of the game. T-22 is over here. And what I'm hoping is that maybe, just maybe, I can help out with this T-22. I can push up and we get some damage out. I don't really know. I mean, this is most likely going to be a loss at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter how good of a player I am when my team is doing, you know, this bad. So, we'll see. We will see what I can do. I'm going to move up, and there's the 50. HE. 9 damage high explosive. We truly love my RNG in this game. Well, we get a pen into the T-22. And we get another pen into the T-22. Not entirely sure why this player YOLO'd me, to be real. Oh, okay. I love the T-22 armor. It's really, it was a good... Oh, that made sense too. Thanks, Wargaming. Please, just screw me harder. That's what I love. I love getting, bad RNG over and over and over. That's truly my favorite thing in this game. I mean, honestly, if I didn't get... Oh, good. Yeah. L. Big L Bozo. I deserved that, though. I absolutely deserved that. There you go. Easy clear. And all that's left is the IS-7, who we're going to push to the side of here, and we're going to see if we can get some damage into. We got one shell. Yeah, we're not going to win this. We are definitely not going to win this. But we did pretty good this game. I mean, honestly, I can't say I made any mistakes. I don't understand how we bounced that T-22 with that many shells. Oh, wait, that's right. Because unlike the 140 and 62A, which Wargaming decided to nerf, they decided to buff the T-22 medium to a point where you literally cannot pen it, even with easy shots. I honestly don't think I made any misplays when shooting that T-22. I really don't. Like, if we take a look at that replay again, I think I aimed each one of those shells perfectly fine on his tank, but because the armor is so freaking stupid on that vehicle, he got away with literally YOLOing me. Like, that was actually stupid. Like, we take a look here, right? So, I'm shooting at the T-22. This shot bounces here. Why is that a bounce? First of all, why is the shell hitting there? Look at where my gun is, and look at where my shell went. So maybe that's just reticle lag. In fact, that's probably what it is. Reticle lag is when you're aiming somewhere, but the server is too slow to catch up. Because we were clearly aiming at the flat side, and it ended up bouncing, which is just incredibly stupid. We bounced the other shot as well, which we shouldn't have. The T-22 armor, it's ridiculous right now. It really is. I mean, you saw how much I had to aim in on it, and that's with Galley. But we did fine. We did 4,900 damage, and you can see where the 140 does feel pretty nice. With the great on-movement dispersion and the solid DPM, you can do a good job. But you can also drive a T-22 medium and have similar dispersion, tungsten shells, better mobility, maybe not better mobility, but similar mobility, and a turret that you can't pen. I mean, Wargaming really just said, screw the tech tree mediums. That's really what they said, specifically the Soviet ones. Now, I want to clarify, I don't think either the 140 or the 62A are downright bad tanks. Like, you can see that I've done fine in 3 games now, but it's just really disappointing when you drive a tank like the 140, and you're like, wow, if I was driving a T-22 or an E-50M, I probably could have won that game. But unfortunately, due to my luck, that didn't end up happening. I mean, if my HE had literally rolled 21 more on that E50, we probably would have won that game because I wouldn't have bled some health to that T22, which would have allowed me to kill him. And the base cap would have been a bit better, which would have then allowed me to push the IS-7. Could have actually been a win, but sadly, it wasn't. So we are going to make our way to mid, and we're going to see if we can get some damage out here. The nice thing about the 140 is it is very, very quick. So at least in terms of positioning, we can get into the front line very quickly. So we're going to aim it on that IS-7. We're going to load a gold shell to guarantee the pen. And not bad. It's better than nothing, right? I'll take it. 250 damage, though, is pretty measly. Alright, well, we shoot at the bat shot. No clue if it hit. The thing that I'm worried about is the unspotted 183. We have no clue where that player is, and there's no way of knowing until that player does inevitably get spotted. So, for now, we have to be very, very careful. We can see the IS-7. Oh, and we see the Object 140, who I'm not able to hit yet. What the heck is going on right now, bro? What is going on in this game? I'm losing my mind right now. 30B's making bad plays. Again, I don't know where the 183 is, and I don't want to be the person to find out. Do they have a 2 and 5B? No, they don't. They have a Kron, though. And I am going to push right behind that Kron, and I am going to get out a non-penning high explosive. Well, that sucks. Let's just see if we can distract this Kron, and if we can do that, it's going to give our 200 LT the opportunity to shoot him. We got 1 shell in. Yeah. How is this working out for you? I can imagine not very well. And there you go. Why am I still getting shot, though? That's what I'd like to know. I'm going to lose another 400, aren't I? Yep. Great job, guys. Great job. I have an E4, and oh yeah, and the 200 decided to leave me. That's why I bled my health. I thought that the 200 was going to help me get the clear on the Kron, but he didn't. So I guess I just bled 1,200 health for no reason, essentially. I just took the shots for my T100 to farm off me and do nothing. Thanks, bro. I love teammates. I really do. It's just incredible how useful teammates are, you know? Sorry, I was going to say useless, but I think useful is a better word. Alright, well, we have the ball shot Dion in the back. I want to shoot this 60 TP, but my 50B is doing a fantastic job of getting in my way. Alright, well, let's see if we can get a shell into you. Oh my god, we got it out. I'm actually very surprised. The 60 TP shoots the 50B, somehow does not get the clear. Wow. Our team is doing a very good job of just getting in my way right now. But we're getting out shells, we're getting out bleeds. There we go. Another nice shot into the 60. And the E4 is going to send him. I'm going to push behind the IS-7, and there you go. Nice 388 shell. And we're going to reload one more. Kerplunk. There you go. Nice 305. Even though our team's doing a great job of trying to get in my way, we were still able to get these shells out. Not a crazy good game of just shy of 3,000, but we did fine. We didn't really have the opportunity to farm much more. I played aggressive, but my 50B was in my way for a couple of those shots. I couldn't really push in because I was a one-shot for the 60 TP. So, yeah, I just kind of did okay, but you can see our whole team today. Decent job. A little disappointed in that T100, though. Do your job next time. Support your teammate. Would have taken him 0.1 seconds to shoot that Kron, and instead I bled 800 health because of that. Oh, well. Either way, the Object 140 is, I would say, stronger than the 62A currently, and it's down to the fact that the 140 has really good camo values. You can see 50% while on move. You know, if you compare that to something like the 62A, it is a bit more, and not only that, but the 140 has better view range, and its overall capabilities do seem a bit more flexible. However, 62A does have pretty good armor. In general, I can't really say either of these tanks are amazing in the current state of the game, but we can clearly see that in a decent player's hands, you can still do fairly well in them. I averaged around, what, 4,000 damage when you add all these games together, so not a bad result at all. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, but I'm a little disappointed with what Wargaming did with these vehicles. 62A should not have had its shell velocity nerfed, and if they wanted to nerf the shell velocity, buff the DPM. Why are we nerfing the DPM? And the 140, why are we nerfing the DPM and the accuracy? Like, I just don't get it. My brain cannot understand some of the thought process that Wargaming had when it comes to these two tanks. But, oh well. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one, and bye-bye.